It's almost killing time. Better go over the list. Gas, hatchet, Gladys, and my mitts. Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Tonight I'm going to look at the Diamond Select Sin City Marv and Hartigan colored versions. I believe these are Toys R Us exclusives, or they're sold at Toys R Us or something. Diamond Select sent these to us to review, and I'm just now getting around to them. A little late, I know, but there's been a lot of... It's the holidays. What do you want from me? Back of the package, just, standard pictures of the figures, information on the two characters, Diamond Select, Miramax, Troublemaker Studios. And these are looking pretty cool. Already in the package, I can already tell Marv has a pretty good likeness. Hartigan, not so much. Not really. I mean, the Bruce Willis look is there, but not quite. You know what I mean? It's just judging between these two characters. It's easier to nail someone like Marv, who has a very distinct look. With Hartigan, it's Bruce Willis. It's a likeness. It's, like our Mark Hamills and our Harrison Fords. It's just nothing. You know who they are, but, there's no scars. There's no that kind of thing that draw our eyes to, that look for them. Anyway, I guess they are Toys R Us exclusive because there's the sticker right there. So I wasn't just talking out of my ass. Let's get these out of their glare-inducing packages and get to the figures, the important stuff. Okay, and here they both are out of the package. I like, good articulation, good sculpts, good paint, and nice and detailed. There's a lot of gray wash over the gray pants here. Lighter gray over darker gray, I should say. Lighter blue over darker blue for the shirt. Some black wash on the trench coat. Badges painted. Yeah, all the paints there, nice. Well, fairly nice eyes. They have a highlight in them. Painted in the right spot. One eye's kind of more open than the other, but what are you going to do? Seems like his forehead's a little large, too. Not a biggie. Pretty good stubble for the beard. Same with Marv. He has a little more wash to the face, but, his face is has some detail in it. Some deep grooves. His haircut. All the black has like a slightly lighter gray over it. Nice gloss for the boots. Matte. Kind of a dark gray. Kind of two different blacks for the trench coat and the pants, but that's cool. At least on Marv, I noticed the articulation for the outward hip swings, little low, makes him look kind of low crotched, but I don't know, it makes him look kind of beefy too, like saggy pants. The first thing I'm going to get to, right off the bat, the hands are not very flexible at all. They come with accessories, but it's kind of hard to keep them in their hands because there's no flex at all to the fingers. Marv is the same way. I mean, I can't hardly. And then he's got his mitt, just grabby hand, and nothing to it. There's no softness, and I'm not a huge fan of trench coats that are blowing in the wind. So I can see these, you know, lots of articulation, but no neutral stance, I guess I should say. It's, you know, always in action. For Hartigan, and the tie too, it's there. It's not going anywhere. For Hartigan, he comes with his pistol, which I like. It's nice and big. And he comes with a pipe. I believe he beat that yellow bastard with it, if I remember right. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie. But there were rubber bands holding their accessories into his hands. And I guess I got a little crazy because I pulled the end of the pipe. It snapped off. I don't know if it's a separate piece that's glued on there, or if it was all molded in one piece of plastic. It looks like it was all one piece. But that snapped off, so that may be something you want to watch. Easy enough to glue back together, so not a huge deal. And then the base, just a grate with some, I guess some trash on the street. They both come with the same base. No foot peg, even though the figures come with holes in the bottom of their feet. So, I don't know. Anyway, articulation-wise on Hartigan, up and down neck. It's on a ball joint, looks like. Yeah. Side to side, nice. Hinge and swivel shoulder. Hinges out. Swivels all the way around. Hinge and swivel elbow, which is kind of weird since there is a bicep swivel, which I skipped right over. There's a bicep swivel. Swivel in the elbow. Hinge. Just a swivel wrist. He's got a torso joint that turns, but because of the jacket doesn't get a lot of, he's got more movement than Marv. He's got some forward and some back, but not a whole lot. Then there's a swivel at the waist, right above the belt. So there's actually two swivels in the torso, in the upper body area. Hinge and swivel, well, he's got a swivel hip, which doesn't get forward a lot because of the sculpt of the crotch area. And he has a swing out hip that swings out, but I can't seem to get it to go all the way in. It looks like it still has in, you know. Over here is kind of flat. This side not so much. So he's stuck in the right leg out pose. He has a thigh swivel. Hinge knee. Hinge foot at the ankle with swivel. And then he has the peg going forward into the foot, which I'm loving all these companies that's adopting that point of articulation just to get some rocker ankle action. But because of his pants right here, he doesn't get a lot of movement. In fact, the left one is either stuck or it's just jammed up in there. I can get it to move a little bit, but it acts like it hits the pant leg. Nice sculpt on the back of the jacket. Harder plastic so it doesn't really get out of the way. Now on Marv, it's all the same articulation, except he doesn't get a lot of crunch at all. No back, no forward. It just kind of swivels inside the hard jacket, and then at the hip, or at the waist right there. But he has a ball neck. Looks like he's always hunching forward a little bit. The boots, the ankles work a lot better here because there's nothing to hinder them. The laces on the boots keep the foot from hinging forward a lot, but he's got good back. And then the peg going forward, he gets a very nice rocker because, you know, no pants leg. And it's kind of interesting to see how much of the foot on these, I'm guessing all feet that have this forward peg have this much. It looks like it's just floating here. You can see through the gap, which makes me kind of leery of getting on it, but none of the joints on this was stuck at all. He hinges, and doesn't really hinge very far back in the knees. Then in the elbows, about 90. Like I said, the hands don't really flex a lot, so putting weapons in. Maybe kind of loose. You got to find that sweet spot where it actually pinches down on the weapon. Which he's trigger fingering a hatchet. Gas can, I guess, doesn't really go anywhere because you can't get it open. And then Gladys, you got to kind of force in because the butt of this handle is a little bit bigger than his hand. But once you get it in there, it does seem to stay pretty good. But what I was noticing, and I don't, like I said, been a while, it looks kind of small compared to his hand. With Hartigan's gun, you have some heft to it. But maybe it was like that. Now with Hartigan, the gun goes in, but you have to kind of slide it in sideways, then bring it around. And if you get moving a lot because of the grip, he drops the gun. So there is that. So I would get him into a position where you want him aiming or actually pointing the gun, and then kind of slide the gun in there. Let it rest. Now, Hartigan is kind of harder to stand for some reason. Marv, not so much. He's pretty easy to stand. Big feet. His ankles work a little bit better than Hartigan's, so he stands up pretty good. All in all, I like both of them. I like Marv a little better. Maybe it's because I like Marv a lot more in the movie. Or Marv's just, you know, the man he's in black. He's got a, you know, a distinct look to him. I like the heavy boots. I'm a heavy boot kind of guy. Hartigan looks kind of thin. Head compared to waist. His head's almost, you know, bigger than his body. But it works out. I mean, it looks like them. I would really like to grab the black and white versions just to have those, you know, because that's the way they looked in the movie. Maybe that's what's throwing me off a little bit here. Not that I don't like the figures. I do like the figures, but what you can do? These are available at Toys R Us. I haven't seen them at mine, but I have seen a lot of people have picked these up. So if you see them, grab them. They're cool. If you like the review, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the Fwoosh. Oops, I forgot. He comes with a severed arm. Like I said, I've never seen Son of Frankenstein, so I'm guessing he ripped somebody's arm off. It's not a donor arm. It's not a replacement arm, so maybe a military dude. He's got a thing right there.